Hey. Ooh. Belongs to you, my God. Hey, good afternoon. How is your Friday going? My Friday is fabulous over here. I tried coming on live earlier, but I couldn't. Network was very crappy. I couldn't. So here I am today, feeling fabulous on this Friday episode. I remember when I used to be in the corporate world. When it is Friday, everybody will be feeling on top of the world. You're feeling like you're being let out of the cage. How are you feeling over there? I'm reaching you live from Owerri in Imo State. Please let me know if you're joining me live. Let me know where you're watching me from, and I'll give you a shout out. I welcome you all to this episode, which is the very last. Hello, Immaculate Kenneth. Thank you for joining me live. Let me know where you're reaching me from, please, so that I can give you a shout out. So I welcome you all to this very last episode in this series. This is the very last in this series, Success Journey with Rosy. This is about the 7th episode. And remember, we're still talking about the rich mindset and the poor mindset. So today we are going to trash out the very last two. We have discussed the 15 episodes, the 15 different ways in the previous episodes. So today we are looking at the very last. I hope you've been enjoying it so far. Please let me know if you have been following me, if you have been finding value in this, and so that I can give you a shout out. So it has actually added so much value to me, even as a person. So by next week, we're going to start another series, caption how to move from where you are to where you want to be. That's going to be the series from next week. Hello, Adaku. Thank you for joining me live. Let me know where you're watching me from, please, and I'll give you a shout out. So we've been discussing the different ways the rich think from the poor. We said that there's actually 17 ways as stated by Harv in this book, Secret of the Millionaire Mind. Remember I said it was when I started my beauty business and I was exposed to personal development, and it changed so many things. I started understanding how the mind works. I didn't know this. Bear in mind that I said I was working in the bank. Yes, I'm an ex-banker, worked in the bank for 11 years, but I had no knowledge of all these things until I started my beauty business 2 years ago, and it changed the game. So I want to add value to people so that this thing that touched me, I wanted to help someone out there. So let me know if all that we have been sharing so far, if it adds value to you, let me know. So today's zone, okay, before I start, let me introduce myself once again. My name is Rosy Ulako Ike. I am a personal beauty shopper. I'm a business development consultant, and I'm a sales coach. Yes, I sell and I coach people on how to sell. So thank you for joining me in this episode of Success Journey with Rosy. We are discussing the very last two ways that the rich think differently from the poor. The first one we're going to look at today, we said that the rich, they act in spite of fear. The rich person understands that fear should not stop him, but the poor man allows fear to stop him. There are obstacles to success, and it happens to everyone. We have what we call doubt, fear, worry. It happens to everybody, whether rich or poor, whether old or young, whether black or white. It happens to everyone. There must be a point in your life when you feel afraid. There must be a point in your life when some issues might worry you. There must be a point in your life when you feel doubtful about something. It happens to everybody. But the difference between the man with a rich mindset and the man with a poor mindset is that the man with a rich mindset, even when he feels afraid, he doesn't let fear stop him. He goes out and he does it afraid. But a man with a poor mindset will be waiting for the feeling of fear to subside or even disappear before taking action. And because he's waiting for the feelings of fear to subside or disappear, he ends up not taking action. And most probably that opportunity slips off his finger. And he will be busy planning, dragging his feet. You see a man with a poor mindset many times missing an opportunity because of fear, because of doubt, because of worry. But the rich man understands that as far as we are on this earth, that those feelings will come. So what does he do? He understands that he is the one, the owner of his thoughts. He understands that he is the owner of his mind. So he doesn't let his mind stop him. He knows that he can control his mind, just like he can control his hands. So just like he can control his eyes to look at what he wants to look at and not look at what he doesn't want to look at. So he treats his mind same way. But the man with a poor mindset has this feeling that he has no control over his mind. So he allows his mind to control him. He allows feelings of fear to stop him. So we have just entered a new year now. Many people have written out their New Year goals, resolutions, and all that. Will you take action or will you let fear stop you? Remember, we are still talking about the rich mindset and the poor mindset. And we said it's a choice. Yes, it's a choice. You can actually choose to have a rich mindset and you can actually choose to have a poor mindset. Which one would you go for? The rich man understands that action is the bridge between the inner world and the outer world. Bear in mind that we talked about the world of duality. We said that the world is a world of duality. For everything there's opposites. We have tall, we have short. We have ugly, we have beautiful. And we say in the money game, we have the outer laws of money and the inner laws of money. So the rich man understands that the inner laws of money are as important as the outer laws. But the poor man, the man with a poor mindset, does not understand that there is something called inner laws of money. So because he does not understand it, he stops himself. So the rich man understands that he has to first of all work on the inside. This we treated in the first episode of this series. You can actually visit my wall. You'll see the episode 1 where we talked about money blueprints. So the rich man understands how to play the money game. But the poor man, because he does not understand it, he always focuses on the outer laws. And he ends up stopping himself because he has not taken care of the inner law. So you see the poor man making declarations, affirmations, the year will be good. It's my year of harvest. This one, that one. Yes, those things are very good. But if you don't take action, the rich man understands that action is the bridge between the outer world and the inner world. So he also understands that in as much as he will make declarations, positive declarations, in as much as he will visualize, if he does not take action, those things that he's desiring, he will not see them happen. It won't happen in real life. So he takes action. He takes action. But the poor man is the one that will leave every responsibility for God. He's asking God for money and he wants God to throw that money from heaven. So, maybe the money will fall on his laps and he will have it. But the man with a rich mindset understands that God answers prayer through ideas. God can give you an idea, do this, and as you do it, you will have that money that you want. But the man with a poor mindset will not take action. He will be there. He wants everything to be perfect. He wants everything to be right before he will take action. And because of that, he stops himself. He lives an unfulfilled life and he ends up being very broke. So that is it about number 1 for today. We said that the rich acts in spite of fear. But the poor man does not take action. He allows fear to stop him. So you choose now. Which one are you going to go for? Rich mindset or poor mindset? So the second one which is the very 17th one and the very last that we're talking about today. We said that the rich, according to Harv in his book, he said that the rich man constantly learns and grows. The rich man constantly learns and grows himself, while the poor man has this feeling of, I know it already. The rich man has an open heart. The rich man has an open mind. When he sees another person that is successful and probably richer than him, he seeks advice from that person. He seeks to know what that person is doing and how that person is doing it. But you see the man with a poor mindset, he's the one that believes he knows it. He knows everything. So because he's having this feeling of, I know it, what happens? He does not learn. And because he stops himself from learning, he remains there. Remember, we talked about we as humans being containers for wealth. When you expand your container, what happens? Because nature abhors vacuum, money will rush in and fill your container. But by not developing yourself, you remain small. You remain very small. And what happens? The person does not attract more money, because a small container will only carry small amounts of money. So that's another way that the rich differ from the poor. The people, the physicists, people that you know about physics, the physicists, we call them physicists. Hello, Favor, thank you for joining me. Please let me know where you're joining me from so that I can give you a personal shout out. So physicists, those that actually study physics, they said that nothing is static. It's either something is growing or dying. Even plants, a plant cannot be static. It's either that plant is growing or it is dying. So it is with we human beings. It's either a man is growing or he is dying. So many times you see the man with a poor mindset, because he's not taking out time to grow himself, he's shrinking and he doesn't know it. And because he's not developing himself, what happens? He stops money from coming to him. But a man with a rich mindset understands that the secret to success is personal development. The man with a rich mindset understands that for him to have a lasting success, he needs to develop himself. Check out in the various fields. The people that are topping it, the people that are collecting the biggest paychecks are the experts. Is it in the medical world? You see that the consultants, the medical doctors that are consultants are the ones that are making the most money. In any field you can talk about, you see that the people that are actually taking the big size, the lion's share, are the experts. But you see the people that are struggling, the people that are on the floor, are people that don't take out time to develop themselves. So that is how the poor people are. The man with a rich mindset is always an expert in his field. The man with a poor mindset is always a mediocre in his field. Go and check it. Do you know how to prove this? How to actually know whether you know something is by doing it. If you say, I know it, and you are not living it, you don't know it. Maybe someone told you about it, or you heard it somewhere, or you read it somewhere. As long as you have not started living it out, you don't know it. That's the proof of knowing. So for you to know something, you have to do it. If you're not doing it, you don't know it. So what are those things that you have told yourself that you know? Do you have personal development plan for this new year? In your goals, did you include it? What are the new skills you're going to get? What are the trainings? A rich man will not mind. As long as he needs that skill, if that training will take him 3 hours flight, he will pay for it. He will go for it. But the man with a poor mindset allows distance, entertains excuses. And because he's doing that, he does not grow. And he just remains there. Remember that in the previous episode, we discussed that rich people are always bigger than their problems, while poor people are always smaller than their problems. So the best way you can grow yourself to be bigger than your problem is what? Development. Self-development. So if you're not developing yourself day in, day out, you're not investing. And remember in our last episode, we talked about education accounts. The rich man has what is called education account, where he saves certain percentage of his income. And what does he do with that? He attends courses, he buys books, he goes for training, he takes out time to train himself, to develop himself. But you see the man with a poor mindset, he feels that training is not necessary. And he does not know that he is the one causing his situation. And he remains like that. Remember, we said we're talking about the rich mindset and the poor mindset. It starts from the mindset. Check your bank account. If what you are seeing is not very okay, it is time to start thinking like the rich. It is time to affect your world. Someone said, how can only one person have all this money when a lot of people don't have any money? Is it not better for you to have that money and use it and feed the poor than you being another mouth to be fed? Which one will you go for? The one that will get the money, or the one that will be another mouth for people to be worried about? Which one will you go for? So these are the two different ways that the rich think differently from the poor. I hope you have found value in today's episode. So we have actually taken out time. If you will still want to know more, I recommend that you read this book, Secret of the Millionaire Mind. It's actually a beautiful book. There's also a PDF version of it. If you go on Google, you Google it, you get a PDF version of this book. So you can actually save it, read it, you will learn a lot. I read it and it helped me, and I want to add value to my world. So bye. Hello, Rosy. Thank you for joining me live. Let me know where you're joining me from, please. So by next week, we're going to start another episode, and it's going to be so sweet. You know the caption, how to go from where you are to where you want to be. How to go from where you are to where you want to be. Remember that success is a journey, it's not a destination. Success is a journey, and who you become is more important than the money. So running after money, to me, is not necessary. What we should actually run after is self-development. Because when you develop yourself, if you want to get money, develop yourself. Just focus on personal development. If you do that, money will come to you. And when that money comes, it will stay. But if you don't develop yourself, even when you accidentally get money, as in big amount of money, and you have not developed yourself to handle such amount of money, what happens? You will lose it. You will lose it. Remember, we talked about lottery winners the other time. You see them, they just hit an amount of money. But because they have not groomed themselves to be people that can actually handle such amount of money, what happens? They lose it. They lose it. And they go back to status quo. Thank you, Rosy. Thank you so much. So you see, which one would you go for? Is it for you to hit 10 million now, and you have not groomed yourself to be someone who can handle 10 million, and in the next 6 months or 1 year you lose that 10 million and you go back to thousands? Which one would you go for? I will go for personal development. I will go to groom myself to become a person of capacity that can handle such amount of money. So I'm inviting you to join me again. From next week, Monday, we're going to be having this series, how to go from where you are to where you want to be. It's going to be on my business page. I'll be dropping the link at the end of this video. I'll drop the link to my business page. So it's going to be another series, and I promise you, you will enjoy it. You will enjoy it. It changed my life so much. It's another book review written by Jack Canfield. And I know that when you join me in that ride, you will have testimonies. So let me know if you found value in today's episode. And please drop value for me in the comment section. If you watch this as a replay, please also drop replay for me and I'll give you a shout out. If you know someone who might benefit from this, please feel free to tag them. And as you tag them, I'll give you a shout out too. Thank you so much. Do have a beautiful year ahead. Meet you at the top. Bye.